Hi, Mr. Unit 5 video. Coming up.
What's up, bro? What's wrong?
I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to solve for X. I don't know how to graph. I don't know how to do any of this. I'm
Let me see.
frustrated.
Man, I can help you out.
Alright, so for the first problem, we have y equals 3x cubed for square root 81x to the 15th power plus 14x to the 7th power for square root x to the 3rd power over 2x. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to group this. Once we do that, we want to take x, and since it's to the 4, we want to group that in groups of 4. So we can take that out later. And since 14 over 2x, that cancels out and comes down to 7x to the 6th for square root x to the 3rd over 1. Once we do that, we get y equals to 9x to the 6th for root x to the 3rd plus 7x to the 6th for root x to the 3rd. And that comes down to y equals 16x to the 6th for root x to the 3rd. Because what we did is we added 9 plus 7x, which gave us a 16x. After you do that, we're going to take 16x to the 6th and put it over both sides of the equation, which brings us down to this. And in order to get rid of this 4 right here, we want to put both of these in parentheses so they cancel out. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to simplify that to get this equation. And once we multiply those two, we get y to the 4th over 65536x to the 24, which equals x cubed. To simplify this even further, what we want to do next, we want to cross multiply. So we get y to the 4th equals to 65536x to the 27th. And both of those are over 65536. Now to get x alone, we're going to square root both sides and put the square root to the 27th power. And once we do that, we calculate our final answer to get 27 square root y to the 4th power over 1.508, and that equals to x.
Biologists have discovered that the shoulder height h in centimeters of a male Asian elephant can be modeled by h equals 62.5 power 3 square root 2 plus 75.8, where t is the age in years of the elephant. Determine the age of an elephant with a shoulder height of 520
We're
centimeters.
going to solve this problem. We use the equation x equals 62.5 power 3 square root t plus 75.8. So right here we converted 520 to inches and feet. So 520 centimeters equals 204.7 inches, and 520 centimeters equals 17.06 feet. So over here we wrote 520 equals 62.5 power 3 square root t plus 75.8. So what we do is subtract 75.8 from both sides, which is 444.2 equals 62.5 power 3 square root t. So what we do is we divide both sides by 62.5 to get rid of it. So then when you do 444.2 divided by 62.5, it becomes 7.1072, and then equals power 3 square root t. So then to get rid of it, we do both sides to the 3rd power. So then 7.1072 to the 3rd power equals 356.96 years equals t. And that is the answer. Alright, so when we multiply 7.1072 to the power of the 3rd, it is 356.96 years equals t. And that is the answer.
Okay, so now we're going to show and explain different variations of parent functions. So as you can see, I plugged in all these different translations into Desmos, and I'm going to turn them on, and I'm going to explain. So if g of x equals root of x, and that's a parent function, we're going to graph a bunch of examples for each of the following translations. Okay, so when we plug in g of x equals f of x plus 3, adding 3 is going to move it up 3 spots on the y-axis. So, new point would become 1, 4. Okay, so now if we turn on g of x equals f of x minus 3, it's going to cause the line to move down 3 points, and the new point would be 1, negative 2. So then if we plug in g of x equals 3f times x, if we put the x in front of the 3f, it moves up 3 units. So the new point would be 1 comma 3, as you can see right there. Okay, so when you plug in g of x equals f times the quantity x plus 3, the plus 3 in the parentheses makes the point move left on the x-axis, which is negative 3 comma 0, and the new point is negative 2 comma 1. Okay, so when you plug in g of x equals f times the quantity x minus 3, there's a horizontal shift right 3 units, which causes a new point to be 4 comma 1. So g of x equals negative f times x, with the negative f basically causes a reflection, and the new point would be 1 comma negative 1. So now when I plug in g of x equals f to the power negative 1 times x, it's basically just a reflection. So the point stays the same at 1 comma 1.
So this chapter, we felt it was kind of an easier chapter compared to the last ones. I think the way you explained it this chapter, it was more understandable and like a lot easier to learn and comprehend. And I think the whiteboard practice we did, I think we did a lot more of it this chapter, and I think that really helped us too. And yeah.
Alright, so the life lesson, it really opened up our eyes and made us realize the things that other people go through.
And something we could do to like help someone is when we see someone like who's by themselves or like not with anybody, who doesn't really have many friends, we can go up and like introduce ourselves and ask how they're doing, how their day's going, and just try to make the best out of their day.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to do this week. And
Yeah.
What's so wrong? What's up, dude? What's wrong?